So today I thought I'd make a video about Conor McGregor.
It is damn good to wake up and have a choice of breakfasts. And
Mostly just because I'm a big fan. I really enjoy watching him. He's so funny, and he's pretty good to the people that are around him and everything. And I'm not much of a UFC fan as far as I could never see myself fighting for money. That's just a hard way to make a living. I don't know why anybody would want to sign up for that, but I do understand the warrior / athlete mentality, right? And as I was in competitive sports and martial arts at some point when I was younger, when I was a kid and stuff. So. One thing I wanted to talk about, because, whenever anybody's in the spotlight, you always can see, a whole list of supporters and a whole list of negativity, and people are like, this person, this and that, and then I hate this person because, and then, there's this other side that's fighting with them, and, hence the internet, that's the way it works. But what I wanted to say, though, is that there's a lot of people out there saying that Conor McGregor might not be natural because he jumped up a weight division. Now, I believe Conor McGregor is natural, okay? And I'm going to say this. The reason why is because people have a misconception about how much weight he put on, and because they don't understand how wrestling and fight circles work, Years ago, when I was in martial arts, I was only about 20 years old, I went to a boxing gym, and I said to the guy, hey, I want to learn how to box. And he just looked at me and laughed and said, well, you're too short, right? For your weight, you're too short. You're never going to have a chance. Right? So based on his logic, being a boxing coach, he'd say, hey, get down in weight as far down as you can go, so that way you're going to be fighting guys more your height. That's kind of the mentality. If I could get down to 140, obviously I'm going to be fighting mostly, shorter guys, right? If I'm in, the 200-pound division, obviously it's going to be a totally different type of match, okay? So bearing this logic, okay, what happens with fighters is a lot of times they might be a naturally 160, 170 pound guy, and then they'll go down about 20 pounds, after their weight cut and their dehydration. They'll go down about 20 pounds for the weigh-in and then try to put on a bunch of weight by the time the fight comes. So, sometimes you'll see a fighter that's 145 pounds or 150 pounds. By the time the actual fight happens, he's actually 160, 165. Okay, so a lot of the weight loss has to do with dehydration. You can lose about 10 pounds just from water weight alone in about 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so there's a big misconception. People are saying, oh yeah, Conor put on all this weight. Well, yeah, he didn't really put on the weight as much as he used to lose a lot of weight for a lot of the divisions, because that enabled him to fight at a different weight bracket, right? So it's not like he all of a sudden put on like 20 or 30 pounds, of solid muscle. I guarantee you about 15 pounds of that or 18 pounds of that was already there. It's just that he would be cutting, constantly cutting down, okay? So when I look at Conor McGregor, I don't see a guy that's on steroids. I see a 170-pound man that's 5'10". That's not an absurdly huge amount of muscle for a 5'10" guy, especially when he's training all the time and he's actually lifting weights, doing a lot of resistance type training. There's some wrestlers that I used to see in the gym, and just because they do so much wrestling work, they were always weight training, working with tension and everything. They had unbelievable physiques, even though they weren't in the gym all the time, but they were always using another body for tension or for the weights. Okay, so, that's my 2 cents with Conor McGregor. I don't know exactly where his natural weight was, where he was always sitting before he fought, because he's always been in and out of the ring. But I would say that he naturally probably sits at around 165, 170 pounds already. That's why he's probably so happy about taking this fight with Nate Diaz for 170 pounds, because he's like, hey, now I don't have to diet. Finally, I don't have to drive myself nuts. Because if you see a lot of the videos on Conor McGregor, he's always, or used to be always mad. He says, I can't wait till I can get fat, one day, because he's always dieting. He's always on low carbs. He's always trying to lose a bunch of body weight and train through that. That's the major part of his training, is to get down to these lower weight divisions. Okay, so hopefully that kind of explains a little bit to some of you logical people out there. I know some of you are going to be unreasonable and say, oh, whatever, anybody that has any muscle or anything is obviously not, natural, which is, a bunch of bullshit, really. The fact is, weight training works. That's why weights were invented, that's why people lift weights. It actually works, and fitness does work. And just because somebody gets results doesn't mean that they're cheating, So I'd say, Conor McGregor, I believe he's natural, and I wish him the best of luck tonight against Nate. And if anything else, it's been a really entertaining lead up to watch, So anyway, I'm interested in hearing what you guys think and what you think is going to happen tonight with Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. I'm going to try and put this video up as quick as possible so that way you can respond. Okay? All right, take care.
Do it your way. Now you know my name, calling me in a drought. I came to Ridge in 215 and sorted it all out.